So me being here in Minokamo, I pride myself on being away from Tokyo. And when we really understand the value and potential of the countryside, well then, there's nothing more abundant than farming and agriculture. And right now, we all need to be self-sufficient in our ability to provide food and nutrition for us and our communities. And here in Japan, when we're collaborating and working with each other, this is something we are definitely going to be doing. And we have all the space and community to do it. You understand? The wondrous marvels of Japanese engineering. They've shared with us this kind of construction so we can walk across this bridge, which I'm purposely hopping a bit, because you can seriously feel just the way that it's moving. But one thing about Japan you could count on is that it's definitely safe. And Japanese engineering is just amazing. And not only will you experience it here, the people you're collaborating with, they are a bridge to that engineering which we so need in our communities. As I explained, I said Japan is a place of great historical significance, and once again, we are confronted by the images of Japan, of which we are closely familiar with, which happened after World War II, and the various kinds of ways that they developed after the war into becoming a global power. And this is the kind of transition that we're trying to understand for ourselves, of how we're going to transition from becoming not rich to rich, basically. And again, you will see plenty of information and the lives and history of these people and what they will do will not be lost. Okay, and one of the things that Japan is most known for is definitely Japanese sake. And we are now going to one of the houses where we can see various types of Japanese sake on display. And the fact that this is here means that the maker is located nearby, and we will be able to actually visit these places. But for now, coming to the park, our definite goal is to get acquainted with this value. And not just that, but you could see the various pottery which was formed in being able to drink these drinks. And how the place I come from is where pottery was used to in fact hoist Japan up to be a top economy. Weaving, pottery, all sorts of manufacturing. You are going to get definitely the experience of understanding that. And in the process, we will connect to all sorts of value. Look at these kinds of t-shirts you could go home wearing. This is the quintessential Japanese experience that we are welcome you to experience here at Seiryū Satoyama Koen. Now behind me, we also have what is called the rice balls. And you've seen rice. They pound these rice, they make them into the rice balls, and a house is here that's dedicated to that. And again, it's going to be on your list of experiences, especially in collaboration with Japanese people, to taste, enjoy, and promote. We find ourselves in one of the houses here, which we have abundance of wood and an abundance of an oven, which we are going to be using to also get into the making of things. And again, this is the kind of experience that you cannot have in a classroom learning English. It has to be done in the real world, and that is what we are offering. And now we find ourselves in the place where they have various bowls and pottery. And we are going to be developing them in these classrooms with Japanese people, taking video, developing relationships, so that we can really bring this development and education to a very higher level, to understand how Japan became such a prosperous country and how we can do it too. I mentioned the adventure course, and now you get to see it with your own eyes. And experiencing it will be another thing, and you'll have to come here to get that. And we can see the zip lines, that are gonna take you all the way across the park. You and your Japanese collaboration partners? The sky is the limit. What stands behind me now is a Japanese soba noodle making house. And if you've never had Japanese soba, it is amazing. You're definitely gonna try it. But here, we could see one of the older feats of Japanese technology, which is the way that this water empties into this as a natural way to raise and crush and pound the soba. Although right now it's not working, you get the idea. Now we've come to the place that's called the Showa Pavilion. And this is where we are gonna be displaying more Japanese culture that you need to see. Here I am at the entrance to the pavilion. Let's go inside. Whoa, I'm inside the Showa Pavilion, looking at these old Japanese technologies, okay? You have to understand that after the war, this was so vibrant and new, and people were developing, so hungry, not like now where we're totally saturated. We're learning how in scarcity we develop. Let's look, okay, Japanese mailbox, Japanese house, a whole scene of what it's like to be immersed in a Japanese house. I mean, look at this, it's a bath. See, people in Japan, we recognize this. This is icons. Immediately we know what it is. Foreign people just haven't seen it yet. So we need to get acquainted with the things that Japanese people know if we're gonna develop these relationships, especially with the dog. Various Japanese brands we might see. Now following this direction, various Japanese publications. And let's not forget these kinds of cultural icons, which aren't all Japanese, but feature sometimes the kinds of cultural icons we remember as Americans, but Japan became interested in the West because Japanese sweet shop, Japanese music and artists, what it's like to be in a record shop for Japanese looking music, at what it's like to be in an electric shop for Japanese electronics, various Japanese bicycles, and let's not forget these kinds of goods, old school cigarettes, the Maneki Neko, make the money come. Look what it looks like outside of a Japanese coffee shop, which you will get intimate in as it is good for conversation. Japanese timepieces, various Japanese cameras, Japanese beer, Japanese places to eat. What do they call them? I can't remember. Like yakitori on a stick of chicken. They call them izakaya. It's the entrance to a Japanese beauty salon. We happen to be blessed because there are various works on display from local photographers, talents, artists, and they're displaying that at this park. Imagine we invite them to come display their art in our hometowns. Japanese animation. Think about it. So we are in Minokamo, Japan. As you can see in this section of Japan they're showing, it is the very center of Japan, where Nobunaga, a famous samurai, said, if you control Gifu, you control Japan, and we are inviting you to do that. Here we have another house. We're stepping back in time. You are gonna experience the kind of history Japanese people don't even know about. I mean, look at this location we're at, where you can see the old school kinds of things they used to use. Phones, typewriters, machines. We're getting in this digital society. I'm taking you through the steps so that you are gonna know exactly the kind of history of which Japan came from, that you can see how it became such a rich and prosperous country. And the fact that I'm welcoming you and you have yet to know this means that we haven't even gotten to the level possible that all of us can experience mutual prosperity. And when you have a collaboration partner in Japan that's going through this on these experiences that we have planned for you, you're gonna get a higher level through collaboration with a Japanese person. And I'm so excited that I'm getting to you now because they are developing so much in construction, a hotel, this pavilion for festivals. We are getting in at the ground floor and you're gonna be part of it.